Cool.
Man, I ain't seen you in a long time.
I know, man. It's been what 2019, something like. That day we stood in Walmart and talked for about 2 hours.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. How you been though, man?
I've been great, man. Just living life here. I won't complain at all. What about you?
Yeah, man. Same old, man. Hanging in there, just taking it one day at a time, man. You know, same old, same old.
That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. I'm gonna do your introduction real quick. I know a lot of people, especially where we from, a lot of people know you, but today we got Mr. Dexter Harris, man. Was 2019 first responder of the year by the Daily Leader. Man, is a paramedic, firefighter, getting ready to go to nursing school. Was a basketball star. I mean, the man got it all, man. Life ain't fair. He tall, he handsome, just ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's get into it, man. But so yeah, I see. I mean, I'm sure everybody know, but you know, you're in Alabama now. So my first question was, what's the difference in working in somewhere like Brookhaven and then where you're in Alabama?
So there's a big difference. Like coming from Brookhaven, which small town, somewhat small fire department, 3 stations. We didn't run medical. We didn't run a lot of fire related calls. Like I think our downtime was probably 60-70%.
For real?
Just chilling or whatever you wanted it to be or whatnot. And when I moved down here, it was a big 360. Like, don't get me wrong, some departments in Mississippi, they run medicals and all that stuff. But Brookhaven just one of those departments that currently wasn't, and probably still not right now. But when I moved to Alabama, it was like, in a sense, it was like more structured to what I'm used to. So we run medical calls. Like the call volumes, like it's very high and very demanding.
Yeah.
Like.
So you don't got a lot of downtime.
No. Like, so Vestavia, one of the departments I work for, they call it an over the mountain department or whatnot, and that's a slower department as far as fire related calls, but we're still busy as far as the EMS side or whatnot. Yeah. And that's what keeps us busy. Like I work at one of the busiest stations at Vestavia because we ran the most calls per engine and rescue last year, which in 2024. So yeah, averaging, still don't say much, averaging about maybe 3 to 4 transports a shift. Yeah. But Centerpoint, my other department that I work split shift, it's a district, so it covers unincorporated Birmingham locations and whatnot.
Okay. Oh, so you close to Birmingham?
Yes, I am close to Birmingham. I am in the Birmingham area. I work in the Birmingham area, and I stay in the Birmingham area. Okay. But Centerpoint,
that's not far from Tuscaloosa, right? That's like 40 minutes.
It's about an hour
from Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I'm about an hour from Tuscaloosa, and then like when you leave in Tuscaloosa, you're probably about like an hour and a half to Meridian or whatnot.
You're right. Yeah. So, have you ever had to use them the jaws?
Jaws of life.
Yeah.
So yes, plenty of times. Now, yes, in Brookhaven, before I left, I was stationed at Station 3 by the fish fry. Yeah. That was my station. I was there for the last almost 2 years before I left. And that was the only truck that we had in Brookhaven that had the jaws of life. So we had to respond. If it was an entrapment in the county, we responded. And if it was an entrapment in the city, well, I take that back. The Engine 6 at Station 2, they also had the jaws, but they only responded in the city. The truck I was on responded in the city and in the county for the jaws of life. So I had good amount of experience with the jaws of life. Coming here, the truck that I'm on, as far as at Vestavia, we have, it's called a combi tube. So basically it's a combination tube. It has the spreaders and the cutters all in one. Okay. And it's battery powered. That's like just something simple to use because we don't get a lot of wrecks in our territory that I'm in and whatnot. I probably only used them once as far as cutting somebody out of a car since I moved to Alabama.
What about the fire? Like, so I like to hear about the fire stuff too. Like, because you know my daddy, I'm sure you know my daddy, firefighter. So, like, what you think would be like the bravest thing you done at like a fire? Like I just picture you kicking the door in and going in there grabbing somebody.
So the bravest thing. Let's see.
Like, was it ever a time where everybody else was hesitant and you was like, man, I'm gonna just do it?
So I would say this. This was one of my bravest moments because actually this is the first shift, let alone the first fire that I had coming out of the fire academy.
Yeah.
So I graduated the fire academy, and then that next following shift that I worked, we had a house fire.
Right.
And it wasn't even fully devolved. I think it was occluded to one area. I can't remember, it started in the kitchen and ended up in the bedroom, but we ended up making it to the house or whatnot. And I'm like a nervous wreck. This is like my first house fire legit as a certified firefighter, because that was technically my first time going into a structure, because as an uncertified firefighter, you're not allowed to go into a structure. Only thing you can do is just hump hose and go in to help with the hot spots and salvaging and overhauling when the fire's out, because that's a liability and whatnot. So with that being my first fire going inside, when I got out the fire cast, I was definitely nervous. And sadly, it was also one of the saddest moments because it was also a dead body.
Man.
And that was like, between going through my emotions with that being the first structure fire that I'm going into, my first dead body that I saw burnt alive, the smell of it, that was like a series of emotions where, honestly, I thought about like, man, I don't think this is for me. Like it took a mountain for me to for my emotions and my feelings to get over that, and I had to pray and get through so much to get over that. But now, every time when I look at something that I feel like I can't accomplish or that I'm scared of, I go back to that moment.
Yeah.
To look compared to where I'm at today. Like, look, you got past that. Look at you now. And just that moment there made me feel like that was one of the bravest moments in my career.
Yeah. Because I think like it would be hard to simulate a situation like that. Like the school can't prepare you for that. Like you could drag the dummies and go up the steps and all that, but it's hard to simulate a real life situation where you got real people and real, stuff going on. So yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, they can prepare you as best as possible, but it's not always gonna be just so realistically like with that, because everybody's different. Like your roles and stuff like that, depending on who's making it there to the structure first, which you're going to establish suppression team, or first in as far as rescue, and then you got your second due engine who's got to do water supply, making sure we get enough water supply through a hydrant to make sure we get it to the engine of the first line or whatnot.
How much water is in the truck?
So it depends. So if you got an engine, it can range from about 750 gallons usually. Okay. If you got a ladder truck, they usually typically hold less. They can hold 500. Use 400 to 500 gallons or whatnot. But your typical engine that you see, it's probably gonna be 750 gallons that they're holding.
Okay. Now, how organized are y'all? Like when y'all approaching a fire or any type of situation, do you already know ahead of time what your role is, or just like?
So 9 times out of 10, it's like I said, this is totally different from what I'm used to back home in Brookhaven. So if I'm on shift, and then you got the engine, which is the fire truck, and you got a rescue truck, which is the ambulance or whatnot. We respond together. So most of the time, I'm probably always going to be on the rescue or whatnot. So let's just say if we get a structure fire in our territory, the engine, we have to strategically plan it where the rescue is out of it's ready to respond in case we get a victim that needs to be transported to the hospital. We have to be prepared to make sure we have an exit, but also at the same time, we got to make sure we're not in the way and we're not blocking where we're not blocked in because of the supply line or whatnot. Gotcha. So let's say we both get to the house fire. I'm geared up and all that stuff. Our job, we're going to pull the pre-connects, pulling the line off the truck. And let's just say it could be an offensive fire, it could be a defensive fire. What I mean by that, if the house is fully engulfed, it's going to be a defensive fire. It's kind of like just surround and drown. We're not going in that. That is dangerous. Okay. Now, if it's possibly
so you say surround and drown.
Yep. Surround and drown, a defensive fire. All we're going to do is spray water from the outside.
Okay.
Now, if you have like a house where it's just like occluded to one room or whatever, Then we're gonna go inside and we're gonna do the offensive attack or whatnot. So we're going inside the house, systemic way of left hand or right hand search pattern, depending on how the house is laid out. Also looking for victims as we go or whatnot, finding the fire, shoot as we go, and just kind of just play and plug from there. Your next engine that shows up is going to command water supply. So he's going to get water from hydrants to get ready to feed to the other engine so we don't run out of water. Because 750 gallons of water, that sounds like a lot. But if let's say if you're flowing nonstop, that water's going to run out in probably 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
So that's not very long. But that's like continuously just flowing.
But so then the next truck, it comes and hooks up to the hydrant and then hooks up to y'all truck to give y'all.
Yes. And then the second dude rescue that came with the other engine, they're going to probably be RIT, which means Rapid Intervention Team or Crew. So basically, they're going to be like outside ready to go. Like if let's just say something bad happens where me and the other guy goes down, they're going to pack up. They're going to get ready and go. They're coming to get us out.
Got you.
So that's like a safety, pretty much a safety crew or whatnot. And then you got everybody like from battalion chief. Everybody's going to probably come a Zoom command as far as like somebody's going to command safety operations. Somebody's going to just command somebody from inside from offensive attack or whatnot. It's such a systemic approach where you're having your radio on and like it's like it's like music to your ears once it all comes together or whatnot.
Yeah.
But now, depending on what area you're in, you're not going to get much structure fires. Like everything is pretty much fire retarded or pretty much like, fire resistance. Everything's up to date and everything. So you're not going to get a lot of most of the time when you get a structure that's on fire, it's either going to be abandoned or most time it's going to be somebody left something on the kitchen. Pretty much.
I see. I got you.
But it just don't happen like house fires don't happen like they used to. Like that's why everything's been picked up as far as EMS medical calls.
I see. But is it like, I only been in the fire department one time. So is it like on TV where they ring the bell and then you slide down the stripper pole?
So actually, some stations does have that. Actually, one of my stations at Vestavia, Station 3, is right by the high school. It's it does have a sliding pole. Okay. And I'm not stationed at that station, but I do travel there to work there quite a few times. And I do every time we get a call, I go down to like I'm about to bust my behind. But it's so funny. So most stations, like if it's a 2-story station, most likely they're probably gonna have it or whatnot. But most stations they're not gonna have that. Like
so what y'all do? Like when I used to go see my daddy, like at work, like they got a basketball goal in there, they got a weight bench, like. They used to be, because Brookhaven is small to have 3. To me, I would think that's a small place to have three fire stations. So they had a lot of downtime, man. They would be in there lifting weights, shooting basketball. So what kind of stuff y'all do over there in y'all downtime?
So for Xavier, we kind of the same thing. Like we got our workout equipment and all that stuff at the station. So we usually work out as a group, whether it's just, we just lifting bro sessions or whatnot, or it be a CrossFit workout or whatnot. So on our downtime, like we have a structured plan. So when we get to work, after chit-chatting with the other crew at shift change, talking shit and all that type of stuff. Yeah. We start on our station duties. Like we clean the make sure we're checking the truck. The driver, the AO, checking the engine. He's making sure the pump panel, making sure everything is good about the engine. The guys on the rescue, they're checking drug inventory. They're checking their the life pack, checking everything they need, their equipment ready to go for the next call or whatnot.
So you done had to Narcan somebody before?
Yeah, quite a few times. Yeah. What
was that like? What's that like? I mean, okay, what was because that's kind of like my thing too. Like, so when you Narcan somebody, like for the people that don't know, like how quick do they like first of all, let's say you approach a situation and you look at them like, so my first part of the question is, how can you tell that they need some Narcan? And the second part of the question is, how quick do they respond?
So usually, let's say if we respond to an unresponsive, or it'll be directed, they know drug overdose. if it's one of those two things, let's say if the patient unresponsive, we're gonna check for breathing. We're gonna check for a pulse. We're gonna make sure we do all those things. We're gonna check. Usually, when you can tell somebody overdose on an opioid or whatnot, you're gonna look at their pupils or whatnot. If it's pinpointed, 9 times out of 10, they probably overdose on fentanyl or anything of that nature. Then you're gonna check the respiratory rate, which they're probably breathing probably like 3 or 4 times a minute. Right. So usually you're gonna bag them with a BVM or whatnot. You want to oxygenate them, ventilate them, and all that. And then as we're doing that, somebody's probably gonna be starting the line, and the other person's gonna give 2 a Narcan, probably intranasal or whatnot. Give that to them. As that person bag, we're getting vital because usually they're sat probably in the 50s or 60s usually. And as we got the post ox stuff on, we're seeing the ventilation, like their oxygenation coming up. Sometimes 2 will work, but we'll give it another few minutes. If not, we'll push another 1 or 2 in intravenous or whatnot. By that time, we'll have an IV. If not, we'll push it again through the nose intranasally. And usually by that time, they come alive. So
they come back, yeah.
Yeah. Usually we transport those patients, but I have had one where she's a known drug user, and like you can tell from the tracks on her arms, her family says she's probably using again. And we gave her Narcan. I think we only gave her 2. Like we started an IV, but we only had to give her 2 through the nose, and we was bagging her. 3 minutes later, she came alive. She came back A&O times 4. I know for everybody to understand, they're alert and orient times 4, which means they're alert to place, person, event, time. So legally, we can't transport them. If she's she's nearly just about pretty much died, we brought her back to life. And once she's like snapping out of it, she's A&O times 4. She was like, I don't want to be transported to the hospital.
Yeah.
After abide by that, we give them the sign of refusal, and we just go on by that day. Now we tell them Narcan is not the fix-all, be-all drug because it can wear off and you can go right back unresponsive. We let them know that, but it's ultimately up to them, as long as they are in their right frame of mind and not altered or whatnot. So it's very common to run an overdose and push Narcan.
Yeah, and what about, have you ever been in a situation where you have somebody like having a seizure or something like that, or by the time y'all get there, it's probably all over and done with by then?
Yeah, so I probably only ran 1 call where somebody was still seizing, so they basically was in status epilepticus or whatnot. Yeah, and I think like on our truck, all we carry is 6 of Versed. For people that don't know, Versed is just a benzo that we give for seizures, and it's a sedative for anxiety and all that type of stuff. But anyway, we gave all 6. They still seizing and whatnot. They're not coming out of it. So, but their vitals are like stable, where all we can do is just monitor and transport, make sure we're still ventilating if needed or whatnot. But usually they're in that post-ictal state by the time we arrive to the house, and they're like a little confused. We give them some time. We try to ask, like, have you been taking your seizure medicine, your anticonvulsant, like Keppra, Depakote, Dilantin, and all that stuff? We ask them that. And if they're compliant with their medications, any changes or whatnot, or if they didn't take their medicine, they come alert and we ask them what they want to do. But the real problem is when you don't have a history of seizures and you start seizing, that's something major. Like there's something neurologically going on that what caused a seizure. I mean, seizure can be caused from a recent trauma where you hit your head. It could be caused from febrile seizure, which you see that in children, a spike in elevation in temperature. It might be from blood sugar. Like it can be so many causes, dysrhythmias or whatnot. Once we check for all that stuff and everything checks out, we always recommend get seen by an ER doctor or a physician or whatnot.
Yeah, it seemed like to me you like the EMT side of it better than more than the fire part.
So don't get me wrong. So growing up, I always wanted to be a firefighter. Love the fire service. Honestly, it's just not the same like it used to be.
But a lot of people don't know you started at Taco Bell.
Yeah, that is true. I started at Taco Bell. Oh man, that just brought back so many memories when you said that.
Yeah, what you had, the Corolla?
Yes, the Corolla. Yes, I was driving the Corolla, And I was in school at Hines at the time, and I ended up wrecking the Corolla because I fell asleep behind the road. I was like 2 miles from the house. I ended up wrecking.
Dang.
And totaled the Corolla. Well, ended up getting another Corolla, but that was around the time when I got the job at Walmart distribution,
Right.
and I still was working.
That.
Yep, and I was no, hold on, no, I take that back. I was working at what's that place? At the hospital as security guard.
Okay, yeah.
Securitas. I was working there for like maybe a year. It wasn't even long, and then I got the job at Walmart distribution. And when I got the job at Walmart distribution, I went back to Taco Bell and worked there part time or whatnot. And yeah, that was days.
Yeah,
that was days.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
But, so tell me. So I'll tell you what I think, but I'm gonna ask you first. So what you think is something you do just as good as anybody in the world? I already got in my mind what I think it is, but you tell me what you think it is first.
That I do just as well as anybody?
Just anybody. Just like wake up out of bed, don't need to practice, don't need to rehearse, just do it.
Spreading positivity.
Yeah. So look, you remember when you used to watch the movies and I'd be like, Dexter, what's the moral of this Spider-Man 3 movie? And you bam. And I'm thinking you just had it wrote down somewhere like cheating or something, like you already knew, what I was gonna ask you. And then the other thing is that sports analyst stuff, how you used to like, man, I used to be like, he sounded like one of them dudes on the TV. Like, I'm talking about them two things, like literally, you could watch a movie, as soon as the movie over, you could write an essay about it. Like, about all the characters and everything. I don't know what you call that, but I think that's your gift, man. It's just
I literally forgot all about that. Like until you brought that up, I was like, man, I totally forgot all about that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, like information just stick with me. Like when I was in medic school, like don't get me wrong, medic school was challenging, but I feel like it was just more tedious than anything because of all the clinical hours of in the field and at the hospital. But I feel like stuff just comes natural to me. Like I remember stuff that doesn't even matter. Like
right, yeah.
Like the difference. Like when you was in nursing school, they taught you in school how to become a nurse, like how to pass the NCLEX and whatnot. But when you got into the hospital setting, that's when you learn how to be a true nurse, pretty much. So it's the same thing when I was in medic school. Like they teach you everything you need to know as far as medic stuff and teach you what you need to know to pass national registry. But you don't become a street medic. You don't actually become a paramedic till you're actually like in the streets working as a medic and whatnot. But it's like the stuff that I remember from school, like that sticks with me. So like you ask me different questions like that, I'm giving you very in detailed answers because I enjoy the pathophysiology of things. Like I don't want to just find out what caused this, and I want to know why did it cause. I want to go to the breakdown of like the little small increment parts of it's doing this because of that. And I feel like that makes my job a whole lot easier, where as firefighting, if you can understand fire behavior or whatnot, you can understand like reading smoke and just from like reading what the fire does while you're in a house fire, that makes you a better firefighter because you know what to predict, what's to come or whatnot. Same way when as a paramedic, like if you understand the body, understand the heart, understand what drugs, how it's affecting the heart or whatnot, that's going to make you a better provider or whatnot because you know what it's going to do for that patient as far as medication you might administer or what's going on with that patient.
Yeah, I haven't seen nobody process information like that quick. Like my daddy, for example, he said he failed. They made him take geometry twice. He said he went in there and he seen 2x equals 6. He like, what the hell? Numbers and letters ain't supposed to go together. So he said he took geometry twice, but he make up for it in other areas. But I remember, and I mean, we was teenagers back then. We was kids, and you was like, I'm talking about spitting it out. So with that being said, like since we already on the subject of sports, what's your favorite? Which I like again. I think I know what it is, but what's your favorite basketball memory from high school?
Oh man, I'm finally gonna have to say.
I'm gonna tell you what mine is. I think it is senior night when you started on senior night. No, hold up. Not that part. Not the first one, but the second one when you came down. I think you was at the top of the key.
Yes.
You hit the three at the top, but that's what to me, I think that's what your
Oh
favorite.
man, I was hyped. Like senior night, I was starting, and it was like, oh man, this is gonna be great. And I start out, I can't remember if I was the first one to score for the team or maybe the second. I hit a three at the top of the key, and I was like, good. I was like, oh snap. And they get the ball, they turned it over. I go straight to the corner and just threw it up and hit the side of the backboard. And then coach was like, "Yep, come on, yep, that's it. You had your 2 minutes of fame." Like I felt so embarrassed, but it was like that was so funny to me.
Dang. So you hit the first one, but the second one it hit the top of the backboard.
Oh yeah, it hit it. I missed that terribly. Like I threw it up just off excitement, and like I kind of rushed it because the guy came running. And I didn't pump fake or nothing like that. I just rushed my shot, and I missed terribly.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. That was very funny.
But I mean that first, but I don't think you would take it back though, because that first shot, I mean, that
I was hyped.
If you could put that in a bottle and sell it, man, you'd be rich. That feeling when you make that shot and the whole crowd go whoop, you know.
Oh man, because I was like, of course, everybody knows like. I played my last 2 years, but I didn't get a lot of playing time. Like I was one of the nervous ones where a little bit you come running at me like you even know I played different in Hopewell than I did in high school in the stands and actually in person and stuff. Like I played nervous then, and I don't know why. It's like I'm looking back at it now, like why the freak are you nervous? Like
right.
There's nothing to be. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always like you can always be nervous about something like that, but. I'm like, you wasted like your 2 years of like excitement and fame and like go out there and have a good time and just be yourself. But me, I'm just thinking like
what was it like playing against what was it like seeing people like Stringer and what other Danny Dozens y'all played against?
I know Andre Stringer. I think I don't know if he was a Danny Dozen at the moment, but do you remember McCone Snoop?
Yeah, Snoop, yeah.
I can't remember if they made him a Danny Dozen or he was close to it.
I think he was Danny Dozen his senior year, not the junior year.
Okay. And I think it was when I think it was my senior year when we went all the way to Bay. I can't remember that team that we played at the coast. And I think they had a Danny Dozen. And we lost.
Was it Wayne County or Starkville?
No. There was somebody. It wasn't. I remember Wayne County, and it wasn't Starkville. It was someone down like further down south.
Yeah.
He might not have been a Danny Dozen, but he was like very good.
He was good.
Yeah, but when I was looking at Andre Stringer, I was like, I just feel like every shot that he takes up, he's just making like he's just throwing it in from past the half court line and just shooting it. And he just made like you can't stop that. Like,
man, I don't know if you remember that night, but I remember that night I had rolled with y'all from the game, and that was the first y'all had played Andre Stringer. We played in Brookhaven, so we sitting in the back of the Cavalier. You remember the green Cavalier?
Yeah.
So me, you, and then Will and your mama sitting in the front. So you were talking about this Andre Stringer. You were talking about. You didn't say Andre Stringer. You said. Yeah, that dude number 10, he a Danny Dozen. So like, what's a Danny Dozen? And you like, oh, it's 12 of them in the state, you know, and every year. I said, so you mean it's 12 people in Mississippi named Danny Dozen? I didn't have no common sense.
Oh man, all these memories. Like I totally forgot all about these memories. Like I don't know how I forgot about them.
Man, hey, I know you can't forget about that night at Burger King, though.
Was that when I walked out?
Me, you, Isaiah, Precious.
Oh, man.
When I think Isaiah came outside and threw up.
Yep, I do remember that. Well, it was after the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was after the game, remember? Yep. Yeah, after the game, we went to Burger King.
Yeah, I remember that because my mom took us.
Yeah.
I think she did.
Cause I remember Isaiah mama picked him up, but I don't remember who she might if she did take her, she sat in the car. Cause we was out, cause you remember Adora came, Precious.
Yes, I do remember. Yes.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah, because wasn't
so you wasn't driving by then?
no
that had to be that was my 10th grade. When you graduated? 09?
Okay, I graduated in 10. When did you graduate?
I graduated 13. But
okay, I might have been driving. Yeah.
That was my I think you graduated at the end of my 9th grade year. So yeah, I think you was out of school by then.
Yeah, because you was yeah, that's right. Because I remember you started on varsity your 10th grade year, wasn't it?
Well, that one Lawrence County game where after halftime, they started me after halftime. I played behind Leo
okay.
At the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But Lawrence County game, for whatever reason, so they had took me out after I want to say it was like the first quarter, and Fred Fairman at the time, my basketball IQ wasn't all the way there yet. So Lawrence County tallest player was about 6'1", 6'2", if that. So Fred in the post calling for the ball, he's 6'9". He calling for the ball. He got this 6'2" dude, trying to hold him. I shot the ball. I shot the 3. So Coach Wilson took me out, but after halftime, we walking out of the locker room. We walking back to the to the court, and Coach Williams, Dorian, was like, "Hey man, we gonna put you in, to start the second half. Are you ready?" So I'm like, "Yeah." So I ended up having a good game the rest of the game, but playing with them dudes, man, like Keith, Fred, Daniel, Washington, remember Daniel?
6'9".
Yeah, Daniel, Fred, Keith, Leo, and me. So they wanted to move Leo to the shooting guard, and so I was kind of like, I was kind of next in line. But so that next game, that was the tournament that we had over Thanksgiving break, and then the next game we had another tournament in South Pike, and now I was supposed to start that game, but that's when everything had happened. You know what I'm saying, with over Mary Glenn House and stuff, and
okay.
Yeah. So I was supposed to start that. They had told me I was gonna start against South Pike that day. For that game.
Okay.
They had a couple of dudes that was nice. They had one dude that was averaging like 20, 24, 25. He was real nice. So I was gonna match up against him. We were about the same size. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was more of a matchup thing. I don't know if I was gonna start the rest of the season, but yeah, I was supposed to start against South Pike that day.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but who I already know, but who your favorite basketball player?
You already know I'm gonna say Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade. So what you remember that? So what was the reason that when D Wade had went ball, you had went ball too?
I went ball because Dwayne Wade went ball.
Yeah,
I don't know why in the world did I do that. Like I like you. I know you don't supposed to idolize anybody, but I idolize that guy. Where I followed everything he did.
But what was it about him that you like? Because like I ain't taking nothing away from him. Like he was at his prime, he was top 3 in the league, easy. So what was it about D Wade that made you say, you know what, man, that's my guy?
His tenacity, like everybody knows he wasn't a great shooter or nothing like that. But as a shooting guard, he was the top blocker, blocking shots as a shooting guard.
Yep.
So he was a defensive player. He's a scorer. It's like he'll score every once in a while, a 3 or outside shot, but he was a post guy where he's gonna get around the post and score and all that stuff and make his teammate better. And that's what made me just like him even more. So when he got drafted in 2003, that's when LeBron James got drafted. Yep. That's when Carmelo Anthony and Chris Bosh and all of them. And I think he got drafted number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 4. And then when they won, if I'm mistaken, 2006.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, because they beat Dallas. Yeah, they beat Dallas. But that's when they had Shaq.
Prime Shaq.
When they had Shaq. Yeah. Oh man, like when they won that year, you couldn't tell me nothing. Like,
yeah,
I had the biggest head. Like,
what's your favorite D Wade highlight? Mine was when he dunked on Verjao.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, when he just looked at him, yeah, that has to be my favorite. That's got to be the most embarrassing. Like for him, the Verjao most embarrassing highlight ever because he dunked on him, basically had his nuts in his face, and just looked at him afterwards. Like that was the nastiest dunk, and I think it was after a block shot. I think
it might have been, but you know what I liked about D Wade was people. So my in my class, I was the best player for some years, but the dude that was just as good as me, his name was Jonah. And
okay, I remember him.
Remember Jonah. So, but I used to wonder why everybody thought Jonah was so he was good now, but they would talk about Jonah like people that didn't know basketball. They would talk about Jonah like he was super, super good. So as I got older, I realized that Jonah made it look easier. Cause I'm coming down the court, I'm bringing the ball down, I'm coming off the screen, all this, and then I throw it to Jonah in the corner, he shoot. So with D Wade, he didn't look like D Wade would have 30, and at the end of the game, you'd be like, he had 36 because he just made it look easy. He didn't go out there and try go back to the dunk on Verjao. You got some players that do a dunk like that, they're gonna get all in your face. He stepped over him now. I ain't forget that. He stepped over him like AI did Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
But he not that all in your face. Like he just gonna let his game talk. He ain't no trash talker. He gonna dunk on you, he gonna go back down the court. He might look at the crowd on the way down there, but he ain't no trash talker. And I like that about him.
Yeah, like he's definitely a class, like he's professional and he's gonna get you what you need as far as a leader, as a scorer. But at the same time, he's not a showboat. And I feel like I don't even watch the NBA as much. Like outside from you still got LeBron James, you still got, Kevin Durant and like players that we watched growing up, like they're fading away where it's like I don't hardly know any of these NBA players that's playing now. And it's like I take it. I don't watch it as much. Like I watch the highlights. Like if I had to name another player that I enjoy watching currently playing, I have to say Ja Morant.
Ja Morant.
Yeah, he's exciting. He's explosive. He's definitely a shit talker. Like
yeah.
He's definitely that. But I do enjoy watching him play and all that stuff. But I feel like sports is just not like what it used to be. Especially on a professional level.
Yeah, I don't watch it. I watch it around playoff time. I don't watch it as much as I used to. I just wait till the playoffs, like even football. This is about around the time I start watching it when the playoffs come. But yeah, I think now I like Anthony Edwards with the Timberwolves.
Yes, I forgot. Yep, Anthony Edwards. He's another good one. I like watching him.
Yeah, I like him. I like Ja. Feel like I'm missing somebody, but it's only a handful. I don't even watch like the Lakers. I don't even watch LeBron like that. I don't watch Curry. I don't know, man. I liked it better when every team had their own superstar.
Yeah.
Before the Celtics got together and with
Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce. That was the first big three.
Yeah.
And then that's when LeBron James and Chris Bosh went to Miami Heat, and they made a name, which they won 2 championships in a row, I think, maybe 3.
They lost one, won 2, lost 1.
Okay, yeah. So now it's like it's about super teams, and that makes it not even interesting to watch as much anymore because it's like just get a super team and just dog out everybody instead of like the old eras where you're like hustling and fighting, pulling for your team, like trying to push them to win, trying to push them to be better or whatnot. And I mean, that's going to always be an argument to everybody, like who's better, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Like, I'm never in that conversation because it's like 2 different eras. They got 2 different games. But if you want to put it like Michael Jordan won 6, got 6 titles from the same team, pretty much from the same group of players almost. Instead of jumping around and all that stuff, you can always have that argument, but I'm just one of those that I'm not that deep off in the sports to have that argument.
Me either, man. I don't really like the ring argument because, like, if we talking jewelry, then Robert Ory got 7.
Yeah, Robert Ory got 7. I can't think of his name right now. He has 10.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, Bill Russell has 10. Why is nobody talking about Bill Russell?
Yeah. I don't like the jury talk because like it's a team sport. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
Jordan didn't. I mean, yeah, he's a big piece of it, but I think like you said, it's to me. I break it down into eras. I give it Jordan, then Kobe, and then and then LeBron. But who your Mount Rushmore basketball?
like from
Any era?
anybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say point guard. But dang, that's man. Okay, point guard. I'm going to have to say Magic Johnson.
Magic.
Just because his length and his he can do everything with his height. He's quick, good with the ball. Put him at point guard. Put Michael Jordan as shooting guard. Put Dwayne Wade. He can play the small forward position because, like you said, he's one of the leading guards in blocks and all that stuff. So I'll put him as a shooting guard.
He played big. He played bigger than he actually is.
Yeah, pretty much. Power forward. Give me Larry Bird. Like,
you like Bird?
I like Bird. Like, I like Bird game. I like his style, and he's definitely underrated or whatnot.
Yeah.
Center. Center. Give me Kareem.
You wouldn't do Shaq?
I was thinking Shaq just because he is so dominant. Like, once he get the ball, like, I'm just like, I don't feel like getting elbowed. I don't feel like getting hurt. I'm just gonna move out the guy way. That's just a big.
Yeah.
But I guess Kareem, because he's just like finesse or whatnot.
Right.
Like, it's a tie between Shaq and Kareem, pretty much.
Yeah. When I think of mine, I sometimes I think of it as in like the chemistry, like how would they play? Like if I'm just going off talent, then that's one thing. But if I'm gonna put a team together, I'd be thinking because like that's why Westbrook didn't work with the Lakers because he's a ball dominant player.
Yeah, and like you got LeBron James, who's the head of the team, that's a ball dominant player.
Yeah, like the reason that the Warriors work so good because Kevin Durant, he don't need the ball to be dominant. He don't need to have the ball in his hand. He can stand in the corner and be a decoy. So Curry is not, Curry the ball handler, but again, he can come sit there and run off 15 screens. I mean, so a lot of time maybe the chemistry, like Westbrook didn't work with the Lakers. Then remember when they put Steve Nash and Dwight Howard and Kobe all together on the Lakers, like that didn't work. So sometimes I be thinking about the chemistry part of it too, but so what you think was what would you say? Who was your biggest influence? Getting to this point in your life.
Easily, probably my parents. Yeah. Like my mom, like my mom growing up, how nice and genuine she was, and kind to everybody, treated everybody with respect. And then you got my dad, who's a hard worker, believes in hard work to get what you want, never don't need to be begging in life and acting handouts and stuff. But between those two together, like what her characteristic that passed down to me is like I treat everybody with respect. I hate with a passion. Like you shouldn't hate something, but I hate bullying. Like I hate when people bully people. Like right now, it's this time, day and age. Like people go through so much, and people commit suicide so easily. Like you're laughing at somebody in public because of such and such, this and that. You don't know what that person's going through. Like it's so easy to like make someone day by just saying, "Hey, I hope you're having a great day," or "Hey, I like what you got on," or "Hey, keep smiling, you have a beautiful smile, keep going." Just something small like that could make them live another day, which they were already thinking about suicide or just thinking, already having bad thoughts about themselves. So like keeping that positive energy, being nice to people, treat people the way you want to be treated. And if somebody treats you bad, still be nice to them because they're going to have their time. It's not up to you or whatnot. And then from my dad's side, the way I work, like I had 5 jobs when I was in Brookhaven, like between
Region 8, Taco Bell.
Yeah. Within like while I was at the fire department, I was at Region 8, I was at KDMC on the ambulance, I was at another ambulance company called Rural Rapid, and I was in the ER at KDMC as a tech.
Yeah.
So I had 5 jobs pretty much. So I'm like constantly just working. Now,
what is it that make you, what keeps you up at, what is it that make you work so hard? Like, what keeps you up at night? What keeps you motivated like that?
I want to succeed. Like, not saying like working so much like to be like succeed by money, but keeping myself busy, trying to like make a living for myself, but also lead by example. Like keeps me driven, keeps me motivated, and it just lets people know like you can get what you want in life if you just work for it or whatnot. Like everybody says like typical saying, everything comes like what they say. I say hard work works. If you work hard, it's going to work for you.
Yeah.
Like, true enough, I have 3 jobs here. Like, I work for 2 departments. One of them is really part-time, but then I also work at a hospital as a medic in the ER. But I feel like I'm more financially, I ain't gonna say financially free, but more like I'm smarter financially how I'm working this because I'm saving up for this.
Gotcha.
Or like, I don't like God has blessed me where I'm not technically living check to check pretty much.
Yeah.
But I want to stay ahead and I want to invest where I'm putting this into for this just in case something happens. I want to like anything that happens, I don't want it to throw me off guard. I don't want to like throw me off where it's like now I gotta wait 2 paychecks just to catch up with that or whatnot. Like I want to always like be prepared for the worst. And that means financially, that means spiritually, that means emotionally. Like I'm not afraid to tell people where mentally, like mental health, it's a real thing. Where growing up, I thought it was respectful. I thought it was for pussies. I thought it was like
it was taboo to talk about it.
Yeah. And then most people gonna say, like, be a man and grow up and stuff like that. Like now, like growing up, being this profession that I'm in, seeing so much as far as suicide rates that going up and at an all-time high, like mental health is definitely real. And I'm quick to say that I definitely see a therapist on a daily basis or whatnot. Like, not saying anything trauma related, anything happened that makes me want to have a therapist, but it's like a maintenance for me for my mental health. It helps me like where in your profession where you're gonna have somebody talking crap to you at the hospital, spit on you and all that stuff, but you can't just react to them like how you want to react to them. You just gotta take it and move on. But sometimes that has a hold on you for so long. Like sometimes you just need to lay it out or whatnot and just vent. So basically, that's what I do as far as maintenance for my mental health. And I tell people like mental health is real. Do not be afraid to like ask for help or like, because people out there do care about you. Don't wait. Like what I always say is with suicide, that's pretty much a permanent solution to a temporary problem. A permanent solution to like killing yourself, you exiting this world where you can never take back, to a temporary problem. You feeling the way you're feeling is very temporary or whatnot. You might have something going on that's making you depressed or making you saddened or whatnot, or just anxiety and all that type of stuff. But that can be fixed over time. That getting rid of yourself is a permanent solution that's truly not a solution.
Yeah. Now, do you have like a, nowadays they call it a person. Like, you don't have to say who it is, but that person you could call and talk to for 2 hours on the phone about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Yeah. I definitely have a person. Everybody should have a person where I feel like I'm that person to multiple people.
Right.
Like,
and people don't realize how draining that is. It's like we got a social battery.
Yes. Oh man, yes. Like I have this friend and I met her off from TikTok or whatnot. But she's been having a rough time, and she posted on her Snap where she wanted to kill herself, or she like just thought about it, and she posted with a picture of a knife or something like that.
Right.
I instantly said like, "Hey, I don't know you that well, but like, let's talk about it." And I got her number. And we was on the phone for like hours. So now she's like considered one of my close friends. So if she's like struggling or something like that, like, "Hey, I need to talk," I'm gonna call her, or as soon as I can, talk to her.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be that person for people to let them know, like the way you're feeling now is temporary or whatnot, and it's just very
because
sad.
because people have different coping mechanisms, and not everybody can regulate their emotions. So some people, where as you can have a bad day, go to sleep tomorrow and be good. Some people, they'll still have that weight on their shoulders,
Yeah,
for a week. So, I mean, you're doing a good thing with doing what you gotta do as far as, like you call it, the maintenance and stuff. But some people, I think it just need to be talked about more in our community, because it's like, like you said, growing up, it's so like taboo. It's like, that wasn't the thing. It's like, quit, like man up, like you said.
yeah, be a man and stuff like that. Like, and I feel like that is so overrated nowadays. Like as a man, everybody tells you stop being a pussy, man up,
Yeah.
stop crying and all that type of stuff. And us growing up, we take that to heart. Well, we don't show our emotions.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So when we're like, let's say in a relationship, like they're like, why are you not saying anything? Like, why are you not expressing how you feel and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just talking about that at work. So only part that I would add to what you said is they call us nonchalant, but that came from years and years and years of, you fall off your bike, get up, don't cry. You get stung, you get bit by an ant, big boys don't cry. So this African man I was taking care of one day, he called it emotionally constipated. So at work we was talking about nonchalant people like us. We don't lack emotion, we lack expression. So we feel all the emotion, but we struggle with showing it, because we always get, when we show our emotion, then that's weak. So then, like you said, when you 15-year-old Dexter is now 35 or 33-year-old Dexter, and now he's still dealing with them same problems, and we all got that little person inside of us. It's something, just like you said about bullying. Like, you have to take care of big Dexter, little Dexter, and baby Dexter. You got all that trauma from birth that you probably don't even remember. All that trauma from all them years and up until now, and you dealing with big Dexter, adolescent Dexter, and baby Dexter. You got to take care of all three of y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot, like you said, years of just stepping it down, just putting it away, going through something, oh well, no emotions, and then it's just like you're building up so much, and like it just building up until you just explode. And people explode in different ways, where people explode where they commit suicide, or they explode by going off on their family and loved ones, and like just mentally just start struggling and don't know where it just came from all of a sudden.
Yeah. What would you say your biggest pivot in life? Was a a major turning point for you?
I would have to say when I moved here to Alabama, like I grew up in Mississippi. I grew up in Brookhaven and whatnot. Like, I'm a country guy. Like, I didn't know how country I was and sounded until I moved here, and everybody kept pointing it out, but whatnot. But when I thought, like, after my last relationship, I'm not gonna say her name or nothing like that, but after my last relationship that didn't work out too well, it was like I need to change. Like, from that to like feel like I was getting complacent at the fire department. Like, it's like I just needed to start over. But at the same time, making a big move like that was very like scary. And it took me like a year or so to like dial down and like look into it and see, do I really want to do it? But once I like moved, don't get me wrong, like it was very sticky points, like from that first 6 months to a year, or whatnot. But I would say doing that and like knowing that I can make something of myself, I feel like that was the turning point in my life. So like that should tell you just keep going.
Yeah.
To like strive for, don't settle for less. Like whatever goal you got, like be happy. Like don't get me wrong. Like when I went through the Fire Academy back in 2015, I was happy with that. Glad. When I went to EMT school back in 2017 and finished that, I got complacent. And then just the thought, people kept saying like, go to paramedic school or go to nursing school. I was like, I kept giving an excuse like, I'm not going to paramedic school because that's just more work, more liability to get sued and all that stuff. And I was saying like nursing, like I ain't gonna do that and all that type of stuff. But and that like the fear of failure to like the thought of like I could fail,
right,
overturned my mind where it's like I'd rather just not do it. Like I'd rather just like not attempt it than to do it and fail. When truly, when you're not attempting at all, you're failing it anyway. You're not even giving yourself a chance. So when I finally just opened up and like, okay, I'm gonna do this, went to school. Not only went through school, but actually excelled at it, where I graduated with honors and graduated with one at the top of my class or whatnot, and loving what I'm doing with the fire service. But then now it's like I'm also trying not to stay complacent where I want to do nursing. Like, but I know you told me plenty of times, go do nursing. I know a buddy of mine from his name Justin, back home in Brookhaven, he said you need to do nursing. Like people up here telling me you need to do nursing and whatnot. So it's like not listening to what other people say, but it's like I've been running away from that all my life because like the fear of failure, the fear of like me going through it. Because like you always want to end something on a good note or a high. So me finishing school as a paramedic and pass, it's like you want to stay right there where it's like, okay, I finished this. This is my high. But if I start on something else and if I fail it or don't pass it, I finished on a low. It's like you don't want to finish like that. So that also like prohibits me from even like trying when I'm like, I got to get out of my head and I got to at least try, because who knows, like I could do that and it could transition to like a flight medic or flight nurse, or just in general, just be in the ER, because I like the ER setting. I like trauma, or like, I guess that's just the first one in me, like a trauma.
The adrenaline part of it.
Yeah, the adrenaline part of it, like, because you work on the floor, don't it?
Yeah. I've done it all except ER and OR, but I mean, basically, it ain't it's like step down, basically.
Okay, I got you. Yeah. So I'm making like manning up and just telling myself to go ahead and do it. Because if you fail, oh well. Like
nah. I think you're gonna be good for one, because you already got the background. For two, you already know about all the different medicines and the patho and stuff behind stuff. And three, you just got the drive to do it. Like now, if you're not motivated to do it, then then I wouldn't. That's one thing. But if you motivated, then you already got the background. You already know your stuff as far as the medicines and all that stuff. So I mean, it definitely, it's definitely in your favor, to go and do it.
Yeah,
but
I say my plan is something this year starting, like, because I don't have I really don't have a degree, so I will have to like get all my prerequisites, how that stuff works. And then once I do that, then I'll plan on doing the bridge program from medic to RN, which is like half of, so it's basically pretty much just a year or 2 semesters or whatnot. See how that goes for me. But that won't be actually until August of next year, because the school that I'm interested in only starts like a bridge program August of every year. And of course, I'm not going to have the time to get all the classes in this year. So I'll just prepare for next year and just get prerequisites until then.
Yeah. Now, I feel like I'll be doing all of the brothers a disservice if I don't ask you this. What's your workout like? Like, I mean, we don't care about the supplements and all that stuff. Like, we want to know, like, what you doing, man? Deadlifts and squat and bent. Like, what you doing, man? I'm asking for myself.
So, like, I have never had a structured plan, but usually, like, when I'm going into the gym, I kind of just have like muscle group day. So like, your typical leg day, your typical shoulders or chest or back day. But now I'm getting more into like I'm about to start getting into push pull legs. So like for push, I'm gonna be doing like chest and tricep, shoulders and tricep, and pull is back and biceps and lower, legs and whatnot.
Right.
But
push pull and legs.
Yeah, I'm about to start doing that because my time is getting very limited as far as like being able to go to the gym like I truly want to.
Yeah.
But I also do CrossFit, but now it's like the off season from the Firefighter Challenge where I'm just doing CrossFit while I'm at the station since we got all our workout equipment there.
Yeah.
And when I'm off, I go to a commercial, regular gym, everyday gym here. Yeah. But really, it's just your typical, like back and shoulders, probably my favorite muscle groups to work. And like shoulders.
Back and shoulders.
Yes. So like shoulders, I'm doing like stuff like Z press and seated dumbbell presses and dumbbell lateral raises, machine lateral raises to plate front raises to rear delts, like not face pull because I don't really do face pull. Reverse pec deck machine and stuff like that.
Yeah. Talk about how important, because a lot of people don't know how important, because I think it's the saying that say you grow at the table, you don't grow in the gym.
Yes. So yeah, my advice to people, if you want to gain weight, you want to build muscle and all that stuff, that doesn't happen. Building muscle doesn't happen at the gym. You're tearing down your muscle, destroying your muscle fibers, weakening them in the gym. Now, what you do outside of the gym as far as rest and recovery and eating, that's what's going to build and recover and make your muscle fiber stronger, where you're like ready for the next set that gives you progressively overload over time to get bigger or whatnot. So a lot of people say they struggle eating. Like I did too. Like I struggle eating so much food because I know to get big, you need to eat big. That's pretty much what they say.
Yeah.
And some people say they struggle with eating. And my advice to them, make sure you're just eating calorie dense food, like stuff that packs like peanut butter, like I know you don't want to like dirty bulk where you're just eating a bunch of like processed burgers and all that stuff. But you want to just get stuff that has a bunch of calories. So when you got chicken, like I don't eat chicken breasts, I eat chicken thighs. Preference for me because of taste. It stays tastier longer and doesn't dry out. It has more calories because of the fat contents or whatnot. Eating stuff like white rice. I can't stand brown rice. Like I am never eating no brown rice. Like I'm just gonna have white rice or eating like stuff like potatoes. And then in the mornings, like eating oatmeal and like bagels, but then you got eggs and all that stuff. So stuff that packs a punch in calories,
right,
where you're not eating a whole bunch of food that's like doesn't have a lot of calories or whatnot.
Yeah. And what about your rep ranges? Like when you're trying to bulk, because a lot of people come to me and they think, oh, I'm lifting this, I can do this 25 times. My muscles finna get big. But I always say, if you can lift it 25 times, it ain't, unless you want to be ripped up, look like Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
You
the magic number
25 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the magic number for that, like when you're wanting to build, is like 8 to 12. But when you're working on like progressively overload as far as strength, 6 to 8 or whatnot. But the typical 8 to 12, like I always go for, like usually when I work out, I do pyramid style. So whatever movement I'm doing, I'm going heavier in weight but lower in reps. So probably that last set, I'm gonna make it heavy enough where I'm only gonna be able to do like 6 to 8 reps. But like the first set is probably gonna be like 12 reps or what it is. The second set is probably gonna be 10 and then 8. Like I'm progressively like pyramid style. That's how I do my rep ranges and sets or whatnot. Some people just do the same thing, go up in weight, but try to keep the intensity there where they try to get 12 every time, which that's good also. But I know that's gonna be very challenging when you're trying to double up in weight, but expect to try to get 12 reps of the higher weight, which can be very challenging and whatnot. You can look at it that way pretty much.
I got you.
And then strength, what you want to just get stronger, where this like you want to go off percentages and like you want to start tracking your numbers and start like doing off percentages. So like let's like following the program or whatnot. I don't get that far in depth as far as percentages and like lifting 60, I may be saying it wrong, 60% of this weight for 6 to 8 reps or something like that. Like,
right.
Like I don't get all in depth with it. Like, no, I just like I'm like one like same way with eating. Like I used to count macros, which I'm not honestly. I haven't been eating healthy in general. I'm right now probably like 60-40, like 60% healthy, 40% like whatever. Like I'm trying to slowly get back right where I'm like at least 80-20 because I don't care. I'm from Mississippi. I like to eat. I'm never going to be 100% clean. Like I'm going to have Southern, like I'm just a Southern person. I just love to eat. So it's always going to be that save room for, hey, if I'm craving a cookie, hey, I'm just going to have a cookie. Or if I'm craving some candy yams with cornbread, then I'm going to eat some candy yam and cornbread.
I feel you. My last question would be like, what advice would you give like somebody that's naturally lean, that's trying to bulk, what's something they can do because sometimes, if you're not naturally like, because the ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph, all that stuff. So what advice would you give somebody that's naturally lean, that's trying to bulk up?
So if you're naturally lean, you pretty much aesthetically look really good. Like you pretty much probably can see pretty much almost every muscle, the separations and all that type of stuff, but then you want to get bigger. But I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna have some, what you call it? What do you call it when everybody that goes to the gym thinks like they think like me saying I think I'm fat.
This body dysmorphia.
Body dysmorphia, whatnot. So probably body dysmorphia probably kick in where you're afraid to gain the weight where it might turn into fat, where like you probably gonna like not see abs no more. So you have to understand where when you're lean but you're trying to get bigger, you're gonna accumulate some body fat or whatnot. That's just unless you're just naturally gifted with genetics or whatnot. But other than that, you can't help it. So main thing is calories, of course. So lower, like usually people who are very lean have their very high intake. Let's just say a 200-pound person. They're probably eating 200 grams of protein because their protein take is probably even higher because they're trying to lose weight, but they want to maintain as much muscle as possible. That's why they got the protein. You probably want to lower your protein to like 0.8, about 0.8 per grams per body weight or whatnot, and up your carbs and possibly fats where you're basically in a calorie surplus. But then also, like, I feel like training in the gym should always be the same, where the intensity, the rep ranges, intensity like should be there where you're training with a purpose. The only thing changing is your nutrition, where as far as eating as much. So if you're not a person to count macros and count calories and all that stuff, I just say double up your protein every meal, where like if you're eating, let's say if you eat chicken thighs, if you got one thigh, double up and have two
thighs.
2 thighs. That's probably an easy 40-50 grams there. Having a protein shake, make sure after you work out, and then drink another shake before you go to bed or whatnot. Double up on each protein, even have a snack like a protein bar or something like that as a snack that has high protein in it. But also mainly you still want to get your carbs in, because that's gonna get you the size that you want to be in bigger. It's the calories, not just your protein.
And I'm glad that you mentioned about the genetics too, because people carry their weight differently. Like you got Queen Latifah and Megan Thee Stallion, they the same height, but at 200 pounds, they're gonna look totally different.
That's tough. You have great genetics. I do know that. Like, you have great genetics where you're pretty much looking lean pretty much all year round from what I can see. And because I think, because Stan is lean. Like Stan don't have an ounce of your dad don't have an ounce of fat on him. And it's like you look great no matter what. You're still putting in work and all that stuff. And like when you was posting, you lifting like doing curls with, I forgot how much you was doing. But I was like, wow, like very impressed with that weight. I can't remember what the weight.
It might have been probably like 6. I think the most I've done on curls is maybe like 95, maybe 85, 95. But I work out with like 50 or 60.
I got you. I got you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that because I remember commenting. I was like, man, it's like very impressive or whatnot.
I think genetics play a big part, man. Some, like I said, people carry their weight differently, and I mean, I haven't did a sit up since high school, man. And I mean, you mean you still can see my abs. I don't know. I think it's just the genetics, man. But yeah, man. So I think that about wrap up all my questions, man. And, like I said again, I appreciate you helping me out. You know what I'm saying? And we can get together again. Next month, next week. I don't care. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I need to come out there and visit you.
Man, come. Birmingham, ain't but you ain't but about 3 hours from me.
I know. That's just a walk in the park, honestly.
Yeah, that ain't about three. I don't know if you know him, but I got a classmate work at UAB. I don't know if that's the hospital you work at or not, but
I work at Grandview, but I do go to UAB quite a bit, transporting patients and stuff.
oh, okay. Yeah. I might need to come out there, man. I killed two birds with one stone. I got you and Nick out there. So, you just never know, man. I come out there one day, you fish, you be fishing.
No, I only fished one time, and that was years. I think this one I was like 15 or 16.
Oh,
I
yeah.
fished since.
That's
So
all right.
I could definitely use the pointers on fishing.
That's all good, man. We can find something to do. We can find something to do, man. It ain't no thing. But yeah, I definitely, I'll be coming through there a lot because I go to Mississippi a lot. But well, yeah, man, we'll link up later on. You know what I'm saying? I still got your number and everything. So just be safe out there, man. And we'll chop it up pretty soon.
Most definitely, man. We would definitely do that. And you definitely stay safe while in the hospital. Like, it's just so much going on nowadays. So you definitely keep yourself safe.
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely, bro. So I'm gonna get ready, man, and I gotta go in the morning. Matter of fact, so I'm finna get myself together, and so I'll catch you on the next go round.
For sure. You take it easy in the meantime.
Okay, you too, bro.
All right.
All right, bet.